Am I the asshole for taking my oldest child to my sister's child-free wedding? I'm still shocked this whole thing happened, but I want to hear some outside perspectives, so here I am. I have 4 kids, 11, 14, 16 and 19. A while ago, we all received an invitation for my sister's wedding. That's me, my husband, and all 4 of my kids. Her wedding was in a different country, but it was at a good time so we could all go. We booked everything and were all ready to go. We got there a bit of time before the wedding. Quite literally a few days before the wedding, I was informed it was going to be a child-free wedding. Look, I have no issue with child-free weddings. But, I was a bit frustrated. I mean, if I had known it was going to be child-free, then arrangements could have been made so that we all didn't have to travel. We were all invited, so I was just annoyed that things were switched up. But, I can also understand that weddings can be stressful and sometimes things are going to change. I spent quite a bit of time trying to find a place for my 3 youngest to stay during the wedding, but I sorted it all out eventually. Okay, it was wedding day, no more changes had been made, everything was good. We were on our way when I got a message that my sister was excited to see you too. I was a bit confused, because, of course, 3 of us were going. I just decided it was probably an error and didn't worry. We got there, and my sister seemed very surprised to see my oldest. And not a nice surprised, either, a pretty condescending, surprised. But, again, it's her wedding day, she's probably nervous, I'll let it go. During the wedding, I couldn't help but feel she was ignoring us. I don't know, if none of this ever happened I wouldn't even care because, again, it's her wedding and she doesn't have to pay equal attention to everyone. But with everything else, it just felt weird. After the wedding, she sent me a message that it was nice to see me there, but she would have appreciated if I had respected the child-free part. I replied saying I was so happy for her and enjoyed every second of the wedding, and I thought I had respected it, but if there was a miscommunication I was very sorry. She told me that there was no miscommunication, that I had disrespected her and I should apologize. I basically reiterated what I had already said, and didn't apologize. Am I the asshole? Edit. For those wondering about the invitation, RSVP. The invitation said, less than bride and groom name would like to invite less than all 6 of our names, and we were all asked to RSVP by email. Which I did. I had also seen my sister between this and the wedding and it was clear she knew we were all planning to attend. And yes, this is about my 19-year-old. I used the definition of child as son or daughter, not as under 18. Sorry for the confusion. By your sister's logic, nobody should attend at all, because everybody is somebody's child. And #X200B. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. So the wedding wasn't initially child-free, and they just decided that it was a couple of days before the wedding after you'd traveled with all of your kids when she'd initially invited everyone? That's messed up. Your sister needed to communicate that it was child-free well in advance if that's what she wanted. That's not the kind of thing you spring on your guests last minute. Also, a 19-year-old isn't a child. So you didn't take a child to a child-free wedding. Honestly, I don't know what your sister was thinking. This whole affair sounds like a mess. Not the asshole. In my opinion, even your 16-year-old should have been included. And where is her apology for letting you fly children out there, complete with wedding-appropriate outfits, extra accommodation and babysitting needs? The invitation said, less than bride and groom name would like to invite less than all 6 of our names, and we were all asked to RSVP by email. Essentially 4 people were invited to attend a wedding in another country and then when they arrived were told they were uninvited. Kinda ballsy and unrealistic if you ask me. You are not the asshole. Your sister, however, entitled asshole. I'm sorry, at 19, your oldest child is old enough to vote, get drafted, sign a legal contract or be prosecuted as an adult. If I, as your 19-year-old was originally invited and then was dismissed at the event as a child, after traveling to a different damned country for the damned wedding that I had RSVP yes to, yeaaaa, I would be upset. You and your adult offspring have nothing to apologize for. Send a bill for the travel expenses you incurred for your other children under the very real impression that you were all invited. Don't expect to be reimbursed, of course. But do it anyway. Bridezilla nonsense here, you are not the asshole. You took the 19-yo? That's not a child. And if she really wanted it to be child-free, why didn't she tell you before you flew your entire family? Not the asshole. I probably wouldn't have even considered the 16-yo to be a child. But I'm German and in Germany you can drink alcohol at 16 and vote in certain elections if that matters. They are not exactly adults, but I also wouldn't consider that a child. The 14-yo would have been sort of clear. I would have probably asked about that, but a 19-yo, who is legally considered an adult? Although I don't know the exact etiquette of a child-free wedding, that's something I'm sure about. Not the asshole op, that is just wild. Edit. Thank you all so much, and especially thanks for the award, kind stranger less than 3. Not the asshole. A 19-year-old is not a child. Am I the asshole for not buying my girlfriend the gift she asked for B-Day? This is throwaway account. I, 30M, have girlfriend, 28F, of 6 years. It's always a problem to get her something for B-Day, so I asked her what she wants. At first she said she does not know and that some nice dinner would do. But yesterday she came home from work and told me she saw very nice set of Japanese knives she would like, but it's a bit expensive gift. The knives were $254, which I think is nonsense to pay for knives since she is not professional cook, she cooks as a hobby. I told her I think it's unreasonable and that I won't buy it for her. She said okay, but was quiet the whole evening. When I asked her what happened, she told me I shouldn't ask her what she wants if I don't want to take it in consideration. I think it's a bit childish. She gave me one suggestion and I said no. It shouldn't be such a big deal. Also, money is not the problem. We have both nice salaries and are child-free with reasonable monthly expenses. We don't have any limit for the price of the gifts. For my last B-Day she got me summer trip to Turkey, paid by some benefits from her job. So am I the asshole? Edit. Everybody is very fixated on the trip to Turkey. Yes, it was awesome gift. I just wanted to say I finally got her weekend getaway to Italy. We live in Europe. She will definitely love because she is in love with Italian food and culture in general. I ordered the knives directly from Japan, delivered for her in black design that will fit with our kitchen we made few months ago. And I will give it to her when we get back from Italy. I am not willing to risk my luck and carry it with me. I finally cancelled the order and I am gonna take her to store with Japanese knives I found in my country. Edit 2. I get it, I messed up. But life-threatening messages and messages about how I should commit suicide are really unwelcome and I will ignore them. Edit 3. Link for the knives. According to some Redditors it's a scam. This is getting really complicated, to pick the correct knives. You are the asshole. She got you a trip to Turkey and you can't cough up $250 for a nice set of knives? Boy, you had better get those knives delivered today if you ever want to enjoy the results of your girlfriend's cooking hobby again. You don't need to be a professional to enjoy nice knives FFS. You are the asshole. Normally I'd say, nah, but the fact that you stated that money is not the problem changes everything. The only reason why you don't even want to give her those knives is because you think it's nonsense, because she is not a professional. You asked her what she wanted for her birthday since it's always a problem, and she answered it and you just immediately denied her request without even considering it. Just buy her the damn knives already. You are the asshole big time. You asked, she answered you don't get to decide if it's legitimate, it's her hobby. If she was into birdwatching, would you scoff at buying decent binoculars? As it happens, $250 is a really good price for a nice hobbyist set. Not a great set, just a decent set. You know nothing about cooking knives, clearly, based on the fact you think that's expensive for knives. Also, having good knives makes a huge difference in the kitchen. It's a genuine pleasure to work with quality knives, something I'm sure she knows. You messed up not only by belittling her choice, but also by ignoring her after she finally answered. Guess what, she's never gonna tell you what she wants again because she won't want to be disappointed by you. So let me get this straight, she provided a trip to Turkey and you're refusing a knife set? Yeah dude, you are the asshole. You are the asshole. To begin with, why even ask if you didn't care about the answer? Second, it feels like you didn't really say no in a very nice way. Third, she got you a friggin' trip to Turkey. And you can't even give her something she asks for because you have decided that it's nonsense. DCK move bro, buy her the knives and support her hobby. I mean, I'm pretty sure you also benefit from it. Bro, just get her what she wants. You are the asshole, especially if money isn't the issue. You know much crazy useless shit guys buy for themselves without even thinking about it? Baseball cards, video game skins, guns, gaming equipment, traveling, etc. All ridiculous things, and you can't buy her some knives. Seriously? You asked what she wanted. She told you. You admitted that money isn't an issue. She got you a trip to Turkey. Yeah, I'd have to say you are the asshole. Also, why is her request unreasonable? And #X200B. You are the asshole. If you can easily afford a gift, even if it's not something you would want yourself, it's patronizing to declare what she asked for, unreasonable. A person can only have a nice set of cooking knives if they're a professional chef? Am I the asshole for laughing at my wife's request to help her parents? So I, 32M, have been married to my wife Allie, 33F, for 5 years. Her dad was a restaurant business owner and her mom was Sam. Both of Allie's sisters got married to very successful guys and had kids. At the beginning of our relationship I was starting my own construction business. I wasn't making a ton of money and Allie's parents hated it. Her sisters always tried to set Allie up with their husbands' friends. Her father disapproved of our wedding and forced Allie to ask for a prenup if she wanted help with the wedding. Allie also asked for us to have separate finances. We have had a loving marriage so far even with the rocky start. But whenever she visits her family I tend to not go. So Allie's dad made some bad investments, got screwed by his partner and his business took big losses. Due to this him and his wife are struggling to retire like they hoped. Allie's sisters came up with a surprise for their parents on their 40th wedding anniversary. They would pay off their house and send them on a vacation to celebrate retirement. Whole thing would cost about $30,000. Each sister would be responsible for $10,000. Allie has always paid for things regarding her family and I pay for mine. She gets along with my parents however and will buy things for them sometimes. So Allie is a school teacher and when she found out the plan she asked me for $8,000. I literally laughed. I said her parents were awful to me, thought I was a broke loser and you asked for a prenup. That our finances were separate because she asked for it and I don't plan on changing it. Allie said she didn't have the money right now but would pay me back. Which I know is bullshit and isn't something I'd consider anyway. As I intend to not help her family out in any way. Allie and her sisters got on a Zoom call to talk about it. I was called into the meeting and asked by the sisters to have some empathy. I told them I made my decision and then was berated. Her sisters went off how I'm holding a grudge still, how I should be willing to help my wife and how it's just money. I said how neither of them have worked a day in their life, one's a stam and one divorced their doctor husband and gets alimony. How neither of them gave me a chance 6 years ago. How neither of them are using their money either, just using their husbands like they always do. That Allie asked for a prenup because their dad thought I was a loser and now he needs my help. That Allie should manage her money better. I told them both never to ask me for a favor again. After we got off the call Allie said she feels like I'm being unfair and petty. That I've helped my parents out before. Which is true. I bought my dad a new 30 Kelvin's truck about a year ago. I said that's because my silly business took off and I can afford to do those things. And that her parents are her responsibility and I don't owe them a thing. My parents think while I'm not in the wrong. Laughing at my wife's request was kinda an asshole move. Am I the asshole? Edit. Yes, her parents tried apologizing. But I have a feeling this is only because my business took off. They try to invite me to come to holidays and stuff but I don't respond. Not the asshole. She asked for separate finances, she got them. Not the asshole. They fucked around and found out. The laughing seems natural, given the circumstances. If it was for something that was a need, it may be different. A vacation and mortgage paid so they can retire early? Nah. NTA. For not wanting to give your in-laws a penny. But you forgot that your wife still chose you. Even though your father-in-law would not approve of you. Your sisters-in-law pressured her to consider other guys. You must have forgotten to take your wife's feelings into account and your perception of her makes YTHA. So hold on to your money but apologize to your wife for your behavior towards her. Look, don't give them the money. But you seem to hate your in-laws more than you love your wife. In fact, I am not even sure you like her that much. Or at least enjoy throwing this grudge in her face and relishing her family's misfortune. It's not a good look. My parents think while I'm not in the wrong. Laughing at my wife's request was kinda an asshole move. I agree with your parents 100%. It was a crappy move. However, your in-laws acted awful towards you when you decided to marry your wife. Separate finances and the prenup were by her request, not by yours. Still, not the asshole. Edit. I have a question. Do you have kids? Why are you married to a person you have no respect for? Not the asshole. She wanted separate finances. She also wanted the prenup. 'Cause if she really didn't want it, Dad's threat of not paying for the wedding wouldn't be a issue. You didn't need to laugh but I'd have probably done the same. I think Allie is asshole for getting you involved in the Zoom call too. Maybe she thought you'd cave with the added pressure of her sisters. Allie knew she couldn't afford $10K at the beginning. She shouldn't have agreed in the first place. Allie and her family suck the worst. You didn't need to laugh. As an aside, I'd be thinking about what's important to you here. Because this is the kind of thing that ends marriages. Is this refusal to help her parents worth losing your wife over? Is your pride worth it? It's not wrong if you think about it and realize the answer is yes, but it would be awful if you realize after the fact that you didn't want to lose her after all. Like, I personally wouldn't have married if this was the situation, but that's me. Am I the asshole for refusing to give back a book owner sold by mistake after I purchased it? I, 29 female, am an avid buyer of sales and being part of different social media where people sell used items. The old adage is, one man's junk is another person's treasure. A lady who is also a friend places 20 books for sale for $5. I immediately reply to the post to purchase the books, and pick up the books from my friend for $5. Later that night, I receive a call from the lady that she accidentally sold her husband's first edition The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck first printing. She tells me her husband is livid and it is creating marital discord with their marriage. I tell her that I will look into the situation and get back to her with an answer. I explained the situation to my parents and they said under no circumstance do I return the book. It is ethically and morally yours, and you have no obligation to return it. My husband disagreed with my parents and said it was an honest mistake and you will lose your friendship over $1,000 book accidentally sold. I subsequently took my parents' advice, and kept the book, and she kept the $5. Am I the asshole for not returning the book and losing the friendships? She subsequently threw me off her WhatsApp group of items people are selling, and can no longer buy on that platform. You are the asshole. You have every right to keep the book, but you're still an asshole for doing it. Your friend made a mistake and you took advantage of her. You can be right and an asshole at the same time. You are the asshole. Just because you're legally in the clear doesn't mean it's ethical. You are the asshole. It wasn't even her book to sell. Your parents are greedy AF, by the way. You are the asshole. Yeah, give it back. Unless you prefer money over decency. You are the asshole. I cannot fathom how you could possibly think this is the right thing to do. How would you feel if you made a mistake and your friend, I use the word loosely, that benefited from that refused to help you rectify it? You paid 25 cents for the book. FFS, give it back. You are the asshole and so are your parents. Just give them the fucking book back. You are the asshole. I'm not sure what you expected to happen here. Your, now ex-friend admitted to you she made a mistake that is causing stress and discord in her marriage and your first thought isn't about being an understanding friend or even to offer any comfort. No. Your first thought is, well now, let me think on it, is our friendship really worth a book? Then you doubled down and said, nah, I'm good. And you expect to somehow not be the asshole in this scenario? But at least you're not the sole asshole in this situation. Your parents were even worse for raising you that way. Congratulations, you are the asshole, just like your parents raised you to be.